controls the camera wirelessly. I'm at the Band Pro booth here at IBC with my friend Gerhard and his whole crew from Band Pro, and just to prove that it's actually working, I said, well, I'll shoot him in 5K and you can shoot me in HD. But right now the only way to own an Epic is to have owned a Red 1, and then you'll be upgrading to an Epic. What's happening right now is these cameras are getting ready to go out on the first big production. It's a Steven Soderbergh movie called Contagion, a big science fiction movie that he's getting ready to start shooting in Hong Kong. And once that goes through the testing procedure, Steven is one of those filmmakers that always takes some pretty first leaps with us. So he's now on his 6th major movie with Red. It's all up to now shot on Red 1s. The last couple on the MX, the new sensor Red 1s. He's got a movie coming out pretty soon called Haywire, I think is the final name of it. That'll come out. And now his new movie called Contagion will be the first movie to be shot on Epics. Once we go through that process, we of course learn a lot from him and other filmmakers like Peter Jackson, who's been testing this. And then when we're ready, it'll go out into mass release and everybody will be shooting them, just like they're shooting Red 1s now for everything. And even the Red 1 is quite small, but this is downright tiny when you think about the engineering level of the work that's going on in a device like this. This LCD panel is actually a touchscreen panel, so I can control ISO, and I'm taking that up to their 6400 ISO. Now, to shoot that in this light, I actually have to stop all the way down. This camera is designed to do both still and motion in a very refined way. So there's a motion mode and a still mode in this camera. So you can say set up all the parameters for shooting motion pictures, all the normalized settings for that, and then with a switch of a button, you can be shooting stills. So you don't have to set a whole bunch of menu changes. You can literally go back and forth. And because it's shooting 5K at its top resolution, let's say I was shooting a sporting event or a rock concert or something, and I was shooting motion pictures, but I wanted to take stills of that. So at the same time as I'm making my movies, of course there could be multiple cameras, every time I depress the shutter, I'm tagging a still. I'm not actually taking a still, I'm just telling it that's the good still. So when I load it into the software on the Mac or the PC, then there could be hundreds of stills out of, say, 200,000 frames over an hour of shooting that I've now looked at, and then I can just say, oh, well, I missed the exact moment by 1 frame or 10 frames. I can just go and move around on it. That can do touch focus. We can put a Canon or a Nikon, and soon after that, a red electronic mount. So we can run electronic lenses on this camera and do autofocus, auto iris. And people seem to be interested, because always when I take it out, there's always a crowd that gathers. I love making comparisons, but the first thing I'll tell you is that the Alexa is a terrific camera. I mean, I think we've been considered very worthy competitors, both Red and Arri, in terms of building really good quality tools. Love the Alexa, love the look of the pictures. The big difference between an Alexa and a Red 1, I'm not even getting to an Epic, but our existing camera that we're shipping, is resolution. Alexa is a 3K sensor, it derives a 2K image. The Red 1 is a 4K sensor, derives a 3.2, 3.3K image, which is much, much larger. So the Alexa, I think, is a very good camera for television. It's kind of equivalent to a 16mm film camera, in my estimation, and many others working in the industry. The Red 1 is the equivalent of a 35mm film camera. And obviously Arri makes film cameras, so there's a logic there, as what their super high-end is still is film. Our super high-end as a digital camera company is digital. So if you look at all the other cameras on the market, again, no knock on all these devices here, right? And there's an Alexa over there. You can see the rough size of them. They're all fairly large. They all require big giant batteries to run. They're all considerably more expensive than a Red 1 or this, and they're all HD. Doesn't mean they're bad cameras, but it just means that they're not cinema cameras. So Red makes movie cameras, right? We don't make video cameras. We're not interested in making video cameras. We'll leave that to all those guys. The Alexa is in that category. Of the best of that category, but it's still in that category. So Epic pricing, this body is $28,000 US. Obviously it'll be quite popular at this price considering what it's doing is full-on cinema. Scarlett is like the little brother or the little sister of the Epic. Same red code idea, same sort of functionality, looks almost about the same. With a fixed lens, the Scarlett is sort of as entry level as we get, is still well beyond HD. It's a 3K sensor, and it's under $5,000 US for the kit.
And when can we hope to get hold of it?
As soon as they're ready and working. They're very close. We're working in the lab, functioning, and you know, it's like a fine wine. Right now it's like a Beaujolais. Sooner or later it'll be a Cabernet, and then we'll ship it.